Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Astropsych 400. Today I'm going to be talking all about the star sign Sagittarius and some personality traits that could be connected to this particular zodiac sign. I am your host, Ned from West Virginia, and today I'm going to be drinking some black tea. I started doing it this year where I keep black tea in a water bottle, like just like an ordinary bottle of water, and I put the tea bag straight in there. It looks absolutely disgusting from this angle, but even worse from that angle, but I guess that's what colored tea is. So there's a reason why I wanted to do Sagittarius this early in the discussion, because I'm making a series of videos here on AstroPsych 400. They're going to be 12 videos, one for each zodiac sign. And in the first one, I said that I'm very skeptical of a lot of the major conceptions about astrology, that the alignment of the stars on the day that you were born affects your mood, your temperament, and your personality. Instead, I began to notice that it's possible that the way you anticipate the changes in the seasons in relation to the date of your birth could be the thing that's affecting your mood, your temperament, and your personality. And I also noticed that I was attracted to certain types of behaviors or certain groups of people. I mean, I noticed that in my life, I was making friends that had birthdays that were very close together. Or in the case of Sagittarius, I was Well, I had two ex-girlfriends that both had the same birthday, November 27th, under Sagittarius. And let's hear a little bit about the Sagittarius personality traits. And this is going to begin with pure wow. Sagittarians are optimistic, lovers of freedom, hilarious, fair-minded, honest, and intellectual. They are spontaneous and fun, usually with a lot of friends, and perhaps the best conversationalists in the zodiac, maybe tied with Gemini. I am a Gemini, so I'll talk your ear off on absolutely any subject. I can mostly agree with that there, but yeah, sure, I love to talk. The thing is, though, my birthday is May 26th. My half birthday is November 26th. So I thought it was weird the first time that I was attracting anybody who had the birthday of November 27th. It was like my half birthday plus one. But you know how there's an odd number of days in the year, 365, give or take, right? And then when I met somebody else who also had the birthday on November 27th, I actually told her, hey, that's the same birth date as my ex girlfriend. And she said, don't tell me that. So, the overall thing that CoStar Astrology lays out here is a Sagittarius has birthdays of November 22nd to December 21st. Always give or take because these star signs are not always constant. They say that a Sagittarius has no indoor voice, forms opinions of pure emotion, obsessed with self improvement, wields their truth like a blunt weapon, and the friendliest person at the party. My experience with Sagittarians has been that friendliest person at the party? Oh, yes. That's the bait and hook. That is how a Sagittarian is going to be attracting other people. They're going to use this type of, oh, I'm friendly, calm, non threatening. I have a slight giggling laugh. That's not me. I can't even fake it because I'm a Gemini. I'm not a real Sagittarian. That's why that laugh sounded fake. But you'll often see, though, that it's much like an engine for the gas tank that is powering the engine. You know, you're driving your car and then the gas light comes on. Eventually, you're going to run out of gas. And you're going to find that a Sagittarian is like a gas tank. Uh, that friendliest person at the party, that's going to run out at a certain point. And someone who is obsessed with self improvement, friendliest person at the party, that is going to be a difficult thing to balance because the Sagittarians that I've known have this commonality that there is a type of desire for a self-serving nature. There's a desire to accomplish their goals. They know exactly what they want. Indecisive? Nope. Not at all. You could even say that they're calculating in a little bit, but not in a bad way. Because at first, they're the friendliest person at the party. They're the ones who are always going to be like, I'm genuinely listening to what you're saying. And now I'm saying something genuine in response. Not like some of those other signs, like I was talking about, like Leos, who are just going to be like, I'm going to change your world and I'm going to make the world better because you and I are together. I mean, that's a facade with Leos, and then it just explodes, and then they're also just going to be unleashing all kinds of problematic issues in your way. A Sagittarian is not going to be issuing problematic missiles of destruction into your life. Instead, they are going to run out of fuel. They're going to lose interest in someone because they're focused on their own what? Self improvement. Let's keep going here with co-star astrology. Sagittarius is the ultimate empiricist. They will always choose principles over feelings and will often question who they are. They move from job to job, philosophy to philosophy, belief to belief. It's really quite interesting that that says that here because okay, you're involved with self-improvement, but the Sagittarians that I have known have always rather been they've been very grounded in their principles, very grounded in their belief systems, like when you're talking about things such as religion. Self improvement, I absolutely agree. They're like, I have a plan to achieve happiness and some type of spiritual state of bliss and harmony with the universe, and I'm going to get it. That's kind of like the thought process that I feel that Sagittarians are emitting. However, jumping from philosophy to philosophy, belief to belief, I personally haven't experienced that from Sagittarians, but maybe some other people have. On an unbounded quest to discover the whole of the universe inside themselves, Sagittarians are unshackled from any particular worldly attachment. Back in 2014, I was reading a lot about, I was about to say Eastern religion, but maybe the more appropriate term is Dharmic spirituality, particularly Hinduism and Jainism, which talk an awful lot about getting rid of these worldly attachments. And I found it so shocking that when they talk about worldly attachments, that includes people. So, this is why I said that a Sagittarian is like the gas tank that is going on low. I mean, at first it starts out that they're just like, I'm going to pour my fuel of care and empathy into your life. I don't think there's any better way than I can explain that. I'm going to pour my fuel of care and empathy into your life. And then the fuel's going to run out. Why? Because to get rid of this worldly attachment, you also have to detach yourself from other people. I couldn't believe it when I was reading that stuff. What you're telling people that they can no longer be attached to their children. And in Hinduism, they had this thing called the forest dweller stage, where I mean, it's meant that that's supposed to happen later in life. Whereas in Jainism, if I interpreted it correctly, and maybe I didn't, I'm not reading any Sanskrit or anything. It's saying that you kind of need to do that right here, right now, and get yourself detach from any type of earthly connection and more or less put your mind in touch with the supreme reality, which is existence, consciousness, and bliss. And there are many, many different interpretations of that. That is only one. So I'm sure some people are already thinking, hey, wait a second, that's not what I heard that the ambition of Jainism is, or that's not what I heard the supreme reality is. You will find more than one interpretation of that. Let's get to something here in co-star astrology. What is the Sagittarian weakness? Sagittarius is a sign of warrior poets. They hold a firearm in one hand and a book in the other. This is my attempt to do a book with hand gestures. They encapsulate a relentless drive for freedom. Hmm. They are one of the most magnanimous and worldly signs in the zodiac. Their boundless optimism is infectious. It can be hard for them to find focus, but once they have their mindset on something, they'll stop at nothing to achieve it. Their ability to overcome is insurmountable, and they overcome challenges with ease. It is a testament to their adaptable strength. Adaptable strength, huh? Adaptable strength? What exactly is adaptable strength? Adaptation means you gotta change from thing to thing. Like, you can't stay with the same thing forever. And that also includes people. Imagine somebody knows what they want. They know what they want to do. They know when they want to do it. But that's what they want, not what you want. And you will see that maybe for a while, your alignment and the Sagittarian alignment will be in sync. And then maybe you're both going to be moving the same way. It's going to be like, wow, this is what like universal bliss is like. This is what it's like to find someone who is on the same wavelength as you. But if someone's adaptable, that means 5 months are going to go by, maybe a year, maybe 5 years, and that person's going to move on to something else because they're going to adapt to something new. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because people are not just these objects that we can put in different places. I mean, you can't just move a person around for because you want to, or you think it would be really nice if a person worked this job or went to this college or university or moved to this apartment or moved to this city. People are not things, they're not toys. They have a mind of their own, more or less. But in all seriousness, though, it does seem that if you have to have these types of adaptations, someone's going to run out of fuel for you and they're going to move on. Not only does this tea look really weird, I think it's making my throat weird. But that's kind of weird that tea would be kind of bothersome. Most people have very good experiences with that. So I'm going to go on to a different website that I may or may not have used in the past. I don't recall this one particularly. It's called thelist.com, the best and worst characteristics of Sagittarius. It is no secret that every sign in the zodiac is associated with different attributes and qualities. Though every quality in an individual is inherently unique, people who are born under the same sun sign are believed to exhibit some similar character traits. And the whole purpose of this video series is why. Is it the alignment of the stars on the day that you were born? I don't think so. I don't know how that could affect your mood, your temperament, and your personality, unless you're going to go like grand scheme of things that every collapsing star has occurred so that you can exist right now. Sure. I mean, that's all true, but that is so macro that what do we do with that? I mean, it's like, I mean, we are all one human, we are all one existence, we are all one consciousness. Yeah, okay, but I mean, that's not going to tie your shoes or cut your meat. I mean, you know what I mean? So, the thing that I wanted to find out was the way we experience the seasons. Because you know when your birthday is, and if you're a Sagittarian and your birthday is sometime in November, early December, then does that affect your mood, your temperament, your personality, your sexuality, your life choices? Does it affect you in terms of seasonal affective disorder? Are people going to be experiencing that kind of high and low feeling at different times throughout the year? If they know that their birthday is in the winter, or if they know that their birthday is in the spring, summer, or fall. And I think there is. As I said, I'm very much attracted to these clusters of birth dates. I mean, many people that have come into my life have been Geminis, very close to my star sign. Known people who've been friends who've had my same birth date. And I've also been very attracted to Leo and Taurus, and I said that in those episodes. I would invite you all to like and subscribe so you can follow along with all of Astropsych 400. Also go through all 12 videos. And if you disagree with something, put it in the comment section below. This is about discussion. And if you want to challenge me and say, Ned from West Virginia, you're wrong about everything, do it. I'm listening. So let's keep going here with the list. The birthday range for Sagittarius ranges from November 22nd to December 21st, making it the last of the fire signs. What was I saying about the gas tank and the fuel? Well, that appears to be one type of fire. Because I said the word fire as I was going into the bottle. Life is weird like that. No, but if you have an engine and you have fuel, then You're going to have some type of fire, some type of combustion going on. But I really would think that Sagittarians would be the good kind of fire. Not that fire that's going to destroy things. They're the good type of fire that's going to power your engine, power your water heater, the flame from a candle or something. So let's keep going here. As implied by its respective element, a Sagittarius is viewed as incandescent, passionate, and intense. Folks born under this sign are ruled by the biggest planet in our solar system, Jupiter, representing abundance, spirituality, and growth. The Sagittarians that I've known personally have all been very spiritual, and contrary to that previous article from CoStar Astrology, they didn't waver on that. And I also can't recall any Sagittarian that I've ever met jumping from philosophy to philosophy. Jumping from person to person? Yes. Jumping from job to job? Yes. But philosophy to philosophy? I don't agree with that. To understand Sagittarius a little bit better, we compiled a list of several strengths and weaknesses. The Sagittarius' best strength is arguably their optimism. Being born under jovial Jupiter, they have a tendency to see the glass as half full. 100% agree. Their enthusiasm and zest for this life is what drives this zodiac sign forward, as well as their strong sense of self, according to the horoscope. And I guess the horoscope is the name of a publication. Another major strength under Sagittarian's belt is their free spirit and energy. Sags love their freedom and have a propensity for travel and exploration. They tend to turn away from materialism as money is simply a means to an end, helping them to do the things they love, and they certainly have fun without it. Furthermore, Sagittarian signs usually possess a strong sense of personal integrity. If a Sagittarius believes in a cause, they will feel incredibly compelled to take action. It is also quite difficult for a Sagittarius to act dishonorably, as it goes against their innate disposition. Is the person who wrote this a Sagittarian? Because they're all just like, Sagittarius good, everybody else bad. That's kind of the impression that I got from this article here on the list. There are also very few things that you can challenge with that. I mean, I said I agreed with the statement that a Sagittarian is very optimistic, but let's find out what that publication horoscope.com has to say. So a Sagittarian has the element of fire. They are positive, mutuable. Their ruling planet is Jupiter. Their spirit color is light blue, almost like a light blue flame, like the good kind of fire. You see where all of this is going? It's not arbitrary. But is it star power or is it sun power? Are those one and the same? Now, I'm fully aware the sun is a star, and to be honest, I'm being a little bit silly. I just don't think there's any type of magical energy that is coming from the stars that is making people behave this way. Instead, I think that it's much more about that one single star, the sun. And I guess I got started on something that I didn't mean to talk about, but magic doesn't exist. What did I say? Magic doesn't exist. It's just a misnomer. It's an incorrect word. It's almost like they're making the assumption that it doesn't exist because we either have science, we have nature, we have existence, and that's what is present. Science, nature, existence, this is the totality of all the processes that are present within our universe and beyond. So to say that something is magical, it's not magic. Even if somebody has this ability to shoot powers out of their hands, or maybe they can like hold a magic wand and go abracadabra, if that were to happen, that's not magic. That is an additional part of science, nature, and existence that we haven't evaluated yet. Guy Lyon Playfair, who has written a couple books about this, also talks about it with the word supernatural, saying it's not supernatural if it exists in the natural world. It's just misunderstood. And for years before I learned about Guy Lyon Playfair, I used to say it's not supernatural. Nothing is above nature. Nothing is above existence. It's just an additional part of nature that hasn't been evaluated. It's something else in the scientific world that we haven't explored. That's not magic. So to say that something is magical or supernatural, people are making the assumption that it doesn't exist. And this is where the critics of astrology fall flat. They're like, no, there's nothing there. How do you know that there's nothing there? because it's not real. Assumption, assumption, assumption. That's why I like exploring these ideas because I wanted to find out what is actually going on. But we're over on horoscope.com. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at this. In bed and in relationships, Sagittarians are adventurous and giving. I don't know why I found that so funny. Go Sagittarius. Sagittarians love trying new positions, toys, and making everything an adventure. Lights on, lights off, love making. Yes to love making outside. They pull out all the stops on horoscope.com. Oh my gosh. If it's not working, it's not working, and a Sagittarian won't stay for the sake of another person's feelings. Boom! Holy crap, now we're getting somewhere. Because that's adaptation. That's how it's happening. I mean, that's what adaptation is all about. They're just like, I can change. I'm over here. Now I'm over here. I was with you. My fuel ran out. I'm not going to stay for the sake of your feelings. I'm going to say, I don't have any more fuel and I'm going to move on. I mean, if, right? I'm not a Sagittarian. When I say I mean just talking about a hypothetical imaginary person. A Sagittarian will always be honest and check in with their emotions. A Sagittarian will not engage in emotional blackmail, nor should they. If somebody's adaptable, the whole run out of fuel personality, that's not engaging in any type of emotional blackmail. How could you be adaptable and engage in emotional blackmail instead? What people are going to do is they're going to walk away. They're going to move from one building to another. There's no blackmail in that. A Sagittarian is steadfast. They are a friend, and they are a creative thinker, a great person to have on a work team, as they have infectious energy and enthusiasm. They aren't looking for constant feedback and can take a project and run with it. A Sagittarian can be an adept entrepreneur or CEO. A Sagittarian is smart, capable, and a true trailblazer. Everybody seems to love Sagittarians. But in all seriousness, I think that if we've established any type of agreement among the articles and myself, it would be that Sagittarians are optimistic, they are passionate, they can do new things, they can try new things. High in trade openness, openness to new experiences, that is. But eventually that means that they're going to have to change and move to a different corner of the world. Horoscope.com also lays something out here. Sagittarians are amazing, it says. S is for seductive. Sorry. A is for adventurous. G is for grateful. I is for intelligent. T is for trailblazing. Trailblazing, that was a hard word to say. T is for tenacious, adept. A is for adept. There's a typo. Even the big publications have them, it seems. No, T is for tenacious. A is for adept. The word adept was written twice. R is for responsible. I is for idealistic. U is for unparalleled. And S is for sophisticated. I've had those experiences with a Sagittarian when it seems like this person is coming into your life. My prayers have been answered. My questions have been answered. All this searching, all this pondering, all those late nights. Why don't I have a soulmate? Oh, glory. Hallelujah. I have a soulmate now. Oh, wait, no, they're a Sagittarian. That means 5 months later. I'm going to move on from this person. See ya. Bye. No, not all Sagittarians are going to do that. I'm well aware that people who've had birthdays from November 21st to December 21st engage in long relationships, sure. But adaptation means they don't have to. Or that someone with that type of personality would not be inclined to do that. If they're very adaptable, then they can start over with somebody else, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal to them. Sagittarius, greatest gifts. Sagittarians are adept at blazing their own paths and can always go at it alone. Sagittarians don't need a roadmap and can easily conceptualize ideas and opportunities that others may not easily see. Sagittarians don't need permission or approval and have a strong sense of self. that allows them to feel sure-footed even when others may be unsure or insecure. Now, this is something dangerous, though, and this relates to life. So much further beyond astrology, this whole I can do it on my own. People who can do things on their own are very difficult to be around because some way, somehow, at the end of the day, that person knows I don't need you. I can do it on my own. I'm a trailblazer. I can blaze my own trail. Yeah, it was great to have you in my life, but if you can do it on your own, also, you're going to get really caught up in that sense of self. Maybe not egotistical, but definitely self loving. And that brings up another problem. Someone who has that type of behaviors is going to be so determined that they aren't even going to be aware of what you want. And they aren't going to process it in any terms of right and wrong. It's just going to be my pathway, my focus. Let's go, me, desire, concentration. And this is way beyond Sagittarius. This is just life. The long story short is, if somebody is adaptable and doesn't care about severing that connection or not having that empathy for somebody else if they're going to blaze their own trail, first they're going to be like, I'm going to end this relationship and I'm going to go on and do something else. And then they're going to think about it 2 years later and be like, you know that person that I left behind? I should come back to them. Adaptation, changing, moving from place to place. But apparently, horoscopes.com is just saying that Sagittarians are in line with that type of behavior, but definitely other star signs would as well. Sagittarians can be sometimes far too blunt and they need to put their needs above others. Well, that's just it, though, leaving other people for their own needs. You don't need to veer from your values, but sometimes a white lie saves all. I think the thing that I was going at is if you're too adaptable and too much of a trailblazer, you won't be empathetic and care about how other people feel. Sagittarians are good at doing things independent. Ooh. Sagittarians are good at doing things independently, is what I meant to say. They're. I think I can talk, but it doesn't seem that I can read. And one of the reasons is that these tea leaves here have severed in the bag. Now, we should always remember that not all Sagittarians are going to be the same, but I think that there are going to be some types of differences in our personalities that could be affected by the sun and the seasons. And there's a reason why so many people look to things like seasonal affective disorder, and they try to find ways to treat that. And it seems like spend some time with a Sagittarian, spend about 3 or 4 months with them, have your life changing experience, and then maybe get ready for them to move on to someone else. If you had that pre-programmed, that would be the best way to combat seasonal affective disorder. I want to spend like November, December, and January with a Sagittarian, and that'll solve all your problems for 3 months. Then you got to start over. But one thing we haven't talked about is perseverance, resilience, dusting yourself off, getting up on the horse again, and continuing. Because if somebody is a trailblazer, they aren't going to help you do that. They're going to be like, I'm blazing my own trail. It was nice to know you, but now I'm moving on to somebody else. So I really don't know why I can talk like that. I mean, like, I know it's the tea bag severed in here, so when I'm drinking this, the leaves are agitating my throat, but only when I'm reading. I can talk to you guys all day long. However, let's always remember, though, that not everything I say is perfect. And there might be mistakes or something that you take exception to. And if that's the case, challenge me in the comments section below. Put your ideas there. Share everything you would like to say. If you're a Sagittarian, tell me why you agree or disagree with anything. But I think if you have someone in your life who's a Sagittarian, I think you'll find this episode perhaps would be a little bit more speaking to you. And I think all of these would be. Because you're talking about what these horoscope sites are saying about this is a Gemini, this is a Taurus, this is a Leo, and this is a Sagittarian. So I think it's really good for people who don't have these star signs to get a window into this type of thinking. And I would also like to tell you that I am the host of Black Box Online Radio, a true crime channel here on YouTube. If you haven't visited that yet, please feel free to do so. I know a lot of you guys have been bouncing around in the comments section on the other videos. Thank you so much. And Black Box Online Radio is going to be starting several new discussions. I also have a book coming out this year called Killer on a White Horse by me, Ned Dahan. It's a novel, and it's a murder mystery, of course, Killer on a White Horse. That'll be coming out sometime later this year, released purely in electronic form, but what's wrong with that? Alright, so everybody stay safe, and feel free to visit BlackBoxNed88 on Instagram, that's me. I often conclude my journals on Instagram by saying fairness and empathy. Why don't we say that about Sagittarius? In conclusion, burning the oil. The fuel is running low. Let's blaze the trail. But let's have some empathy while we're doing it. Good stuff. I'll talk to you guys later.